insult men, they are actually just insulting themselves. If a man does anything that is deemed stereotypically a female behavior, like they catch an attitude, they complain, they wear bedazzled clothes, I don't know, a woman will go insult that man's manliness by calling him a woman. They'll be like, do you need lip gloss? Like, do you want my tampon? Like, okay, diva, okay, princess, okay, queen. Because those behaviors aren't considered like something men should do. But, oh, they're behaviors that women do. But they're negative behaviors, and women basically call men annoying by calling them women. Do you understand how fucking crazy that is?
Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Vanessa. And for today, we have something really serious to discuss about. We really gotta discuss this. And the first time that I saw it, I was like, what did you what did you just say about my favorite artist? Like, what are you trying to imply that she did? But, and I don't know why we take it so personally. Me and like other many millions of people with favorite artists to never relate. But I had to step back. I had to step back and look at it. Nkwanini did not take it so personally. And before we watch the specific video I'm talking about, we're first gonna watch a video by this wonderful creator. Ari says, I'm so obsessed with her. I'm so obsessed with the way she thinks. I am so obsessed with the way she reasons and how respectful she is, which I think is really important. We do need to have some really uncomfortable discussions, but it doesn't have to get disrespectful. And a lot of times it gets disrespectful because people don't step away. It's not like an attack on you. It's just a discussion we're having. Kwani like hamkukuwa na debates mkiwa shule. Nothing. It's nothing personal. Hatukuattack character yako, which I did not fail to think when I first saw this video, and I was like, what did you just say about my favorite artist? Continue as my book. So I put off watching the video for a while. Now I open YouTube, maybe I should listen to this. So first of all, what we're gonna do to watch like the video that I watched, which got me to like the center, which is actually what it is. The center in this celebrity, the Judana gods. So maybe I was taking it so personally as if it's about Doja Cat. I took it personally as if I'm Doja Cat. So like, without me getting so much into it, let's first do the video.
Men, however, you are very attractive.
That's cool. We can move, yeah.
If it's light, it ain't right.
That's
But
cool.
you're cute.
Now, is he someone that's your type?
No.
Okay, and why not?
I like my skin tone darker.
So why'd you end up hopping his villain?
Because he's more on the lighter side.
Okay.
Yellow guys really not my go-to.
I knew it.
Yeah, but
And now, is he someone that's your type?
You're a nice gentleman, but probably not.
Okay. And why not?
I just really don't like light skin like that.
Because I have
It's not light skin, is it?
Thank God. Don't bring this back, please.
We have to first of all understand this group of women, Wanakaje. They're all, most of them, not they're all, most of them are dark skinned. There's, I think, two ladies or like one here who is a lighter shade. But it's very interesting, by the way, how even the light skinned girls don't want light skinned guys. But I just thought it's so interesting.
We can shine together. We
I
can
do
shine.
believe in contrast. I do.
But the quiet part that's not being said out loud is that every time you insult a light-skinned man, you are therefore insulting a dark-skinned woman because you can't have one without the other. Have y'all noticed anytime someone wants to insult a light-skinned man, it typically falls somewhere along the lines of him being effeminate, him being soft, him, lacking masculinity. But the quiet part that's not being said out loud is that every time you insult a light-skinned man, you are therefore insulting a dark-skinned woman because you can't have one without the other. I'm not sure if you guys have seen, the way people talk about light-skinned men on the internet, whether it's through jokes, through memes, or maybe like through dating shows. I see a lot of clips from Pop the Balloon where if a light-skinned man comes out, more than likely a lot of the women, even if they're light-skinned themselves, are going to pop because they don't prefer light-skinned men or they prefer darker-skinned men, right? It's a very common joke. It's a very common meme. It's a very common preference also. And for me, these jokes have a couple of issues, right? Number one, when people insult light-skinned men and say that they're feminine, they are soft. Some people may say I'm too woke. I don't like the
Starting off strong. as an insult. And I am also like a participant in this stupidity. Joe, like you meet a guy, you see a guy or like a guy, okay? And then maybe anafanya something that is not stereotypical what men usually do. And then you're just gonna see people throwing words like akona umama, akona like mbona una behave kama mwanamke, light skinned niggas are light skinned dudes are feminine. So what are you trying to say about me? What are you trying to say about Michelle Obama? What are you trying to say about Serena Williams? Like, because we can't, and I've never even thought of it that way. You can't have one and not like have another. Okay, insult a light skinned dude. You're uplifting a dark skinned guy. Vice versa, because skin like men peke. Light skinned women, we know the stereotype that we've been pushing towards them, that society has been pushing towards them. Dark skinned girls. Oh, remember that time kuna epidemic ya kuchiju ya kulighten ya kubleach skin or stuff like that. Why do you think it became like that? Hata saizi. Like light skinned girls wanna upliftiwa, dark skinned girls wako like maybe they're like ugly or maybe they're like not preferred. There's this conversation. I remember like at some point nikiwa high school or campus, I'm not really sure, but there was this discussion like light skinned girls get the guys, which I never. But that sentence as a whole was so weird. What do you mean you're basing my beauty, basing my standards on how well I can get a man? Like that's so weird. Okay.
Insult of being feminine or being close to being like acting like a woman. I don't like that insult. I don't ever find it funny. It also reminds me of like whenever a man is like being extremely like emotional or acting out of character and people are like, oh my God, like you're acting like a woman, like you need to man up.
Why is being we need to also discuss kwa nini kukua emotional is that bad? Because like when people insult women that women are emotional, I mean that's kind of good, right? At least we know how to handle our emotions. Like sawa tutarusha, like the way she said, we're gonna throw tantrums, we're gonna throw things, we're gonna like do some wild stuff, but we're not gonna go to like a public school and start shooting. We're gonna do that. Hatutaenda sijui tuanze kuua watu. Historically, who does that? Okay, what group of people do that?
Yes, we may cry, we may, throw a thing here or there, but I hate when people use femininity or like womanhood as an insult to men that are misbehaving or being overly emotional in a very stereotypical man way. Because man emotional and woman emotional are very different, okay? So I hate when people use femininity or a woman being a woman as an insult, right? But secondly, I hate specifically whenever they associate femininity with light-skinned men, because for one, there is no scientific proof that biologically, if your skin is lighter, you are more feminine or more masculine or.
That's literally very, very interesting. Very interesting. Si ndio? Na tumekuwa tukifanya hivi all the time. We don't realize when we do it, okay? Which is not bad, because now once you realize it, you have a chance to change. We have somebody else to look at. This is now the video that I had actually seen and ignored because I think I still need to decenter. Just listen to the video and you just hear her points and like I don't know how to go from here. Generally do not know how to go from here.
Okay, so the first visual we have is Lotto laying in a dark bed, in an all black bed, right? And she's wearing all white, once again to highlight her lightness. And something that I think we should also talk about when we talk about Lotto is her positionality, right? Lotto is a mixed race woman. In my opinion, Lotto looks like a white woman. She, to me, passes as white. I would put her in the same category as somebody like a Mariah Carey. Lotto will also be the.
By the way, like the first time I saw Lato, like when I had her, it just that song for Southside, Eastside, and her name wasn't Lato, it was Molato. So at first I was like, why is this white woman calling herself like Molato? I saw that she's mixed race, and I was like, oh, okay. Also, like literally like very recently years old that I realized that Mariah Carey is also like black. Oh, and then other girl for little mix, Jessie Nelson. I swear to God, until venye ametoka kwa the group and like all these allegations are coming up, and then Leanne, like in one interview, she's saying that she once told Jesse Asi not to do braids, not to do like the black scent. And I'm like, that's very interesting, telling like a black woman that. But like, she's not black. What do you mean? She's not black. Okay, this is just a side note. I just thought it's just interesting to note.
Into the identity of looking like a white girl. You know, I think that what is also desirable about Lotto in this dynamic is the fact that she is somebody who looks white and has all these dark-skinned men being in servitude to her. I believe that if this was a fully white woman doing these same visuals, we would be more up in arms about it because we can identify that as being problematic. But we have refused to see the ways in which mixed race people can also perpetuate that same level of harm, especially because that level of harm has been taught to us by our colonizers. Right? So the idea that dark-skinned people are in servitude to another person is something that is really important to notice. Okay, so then we have this visual of the black men doing push-ups as in the background, right? So here she is, a mixed race woman in the foreground, and you have these dark-skinned men doing push-ups, showing that once again, they are amounted to nothing more than just their strength. Pushing in the narrative that dark-skinned men or dark-skinnedness is a masculine thing, right? Like she is doing nothing, she's filming herself, and a bunch of dark-skinned men wearing all black or like wearing a black do-rag, no shirt on, are just like showing their muscles. And then you have this visual of her with like a bandana on, you know, cloaking into like the more black aesthetic. To me, it looks like she has a lot of spray tan on.
And then you have this visual. At first when I like saw the video, I was like, just like how everybody was. This was before I went into when you call a light-skinned guy feminine, you are indirectly insulting a dark-skinned woman. This was before like I got to watch it. Niliona yeah, and then I was like, okay, maybe because like I like Doja. She's like appreciating the dark skin, which is like not bad. But when you really think about it, when you step away and decenter these celebrities, you realize that was actually kind of weird. Why did you do that? Kwa nini ulifanya hivyo? And I don't want to like put all the blame on Lato, on Doja, because like it's like a big industry. Music industry is big, and the top people are not people who look like me, who look like me. I'm like, Mayoa. A lot of them are like white people. The executives are white people.
I feel that her complexion's actually lighter, but she's trying to look darker to, I don't know, fit the vibe or whatever. And you have black men essentially in this room doing absolutely nothing, doing fuck all, right? Just looking at a wall, staring off into space, having no importance. Like this is the most background you could have. They are background, right? Like no importance, just muscles there to adorn her damselness as a mode of protecting you and your whiteness, protecting you and your lightness. You don't actually see value to it. You see value in it from a sexualized perspective. You see value in it from a strength perspective. But after that, it's completely flattened, right? And that is really scary to see all that on a complexion. Something that should be actually absolutely neutral is always unfortunately going to be charged under a system of anti-blackness. Blackness to darkness. And like, let's also get into the race of it all. Like, that's very much so what this is, but I don't think that people are wanting to talk about how mixed race women have those same fantasies, light-skinned women have those same fantasies of dark skin. Like, just because you're black doesn't mean that you can't fetishize your own community. And, you know, it's just so interesting to me as well because Lotto now has a baby with 21 Savage, who, interestingly enough, his other girlfriend was Amber Rose, who's also a colorist, and also was never black, but people wanted to claim her as black. You know, so when people have these babies, they can easily have a child that can have darker skin. So what happens when all these like visuals, all these like ways that you see dark skin as servitude, you see dark skin as laborers, you are colorist, you enjoy colorist visuals. What happens when you have a child who has darker skin? What happens between these relationships? Because so many dark-skinned children are born out of colorist moms and dark-skinned dads who don't like being black. And some people are like, no, it's like subversive, like they're using men as props. Like, honey, do you know how whenever they have a dark skinned woman in a music video, they're gonna have like 6 light skinned girls to balance out that dark skinned girl. Like even when you have an artist who's a dark skinned musician, her backup dancers are not all gonna be dark skinned. They will add in another race to make it more marketable. But when it comes to the other way around, when it comes to light skinned women, they can find a way to use all dark skinned men, right? Like because they don't need to balance it out. It already is giving the image of masculinity. The reason that they try to balance out dark skinned women and add light skinned women is because they're trying to balance out how masculine it looks. So yeah, I mean, this is really appalling. Like I just feel like where we are, we're already in a conservative time. So seeing people very comfortable to showcase colorism, to say that, yeah, like dark skin means nothing but laborers. Dark skin, we don't mind to use dark skinned men as being, you know, subservient. And like I said, this will always affect dark skinned women because dark skinned women are always masculinized regardless. This just reinforces, every time they reuse these visuals, it just reinforces that dark skin has no other purpose but to work for you. That dark skin is always going to be seen as beautiful if it is in proximity to whiteness. And dark skin is something that is so beautiful and so tender and should not always be seen as things of labor or strength. Darkness can be softness, darkness can be many things. And so I just want to make this video so people can say, like, guys, wake up. And for people who don't want to see this, you just don't want to see it because you are comfortable with dark skinned people being seen as second class citizens within blackness, being seen as like second class citizens within the world, right? So, you know, the light skin apocalypse is in full blown right now. Like they are going hard. The biracial brigade is going hard. And we also have to go hard to have critiques on this analysis and just also really remind people that it is not okay. There are young people who are watching this, seeing this music video and just kind of being okay with the fact that they are being seen as servitudes. You know, like even when it comes to like the whole Pam and Gina of it all, or just like being beneath. And we're not meant to just be like, our role isn't meant to be background for light and white people. It's just not.
Again, oh my god, another video. Because for the longest time, I wanted to understand the obsession girls have with having like a tall guy who's going to like protect them and who's like going to defend them. You know, you're just a girl, damsel. But then I'm like, okay, the same reasons you pick this tall, muscular guy. Maybe I'm wrong thinking like this, but this has always been like at the forefront of my mind when I hear discussions like this. Do you not think that guy can like turn against you and like, I don't know. You, the same way you're going to pick somebody else who is not you to like protect you and do all this stuff for you. You not think they can like as well turn against you? Because then you at the end of the day with our book. I don't know, okay, our boss kumoja. And then this tall, testosterone full, you know, gym going bro is like, you actually piss me off. Let me hit you. Also, I'm not saying like smaller guys don't like engage in domestic violence. I'm just saying like that's usually like at the forefront of my mind. Like, and what is the obsession? Which I also have a video for that. And we've all had it wrong. And I get Kwanini. I actually get why psychologically we are like that. Because of our ancestors, Kitambo, the bigger the man, the more stronger he is, the more he's able to protect you from like predators, animals. I'm not talking about men this time around, from like predators, or like they're able to like go hunt. But we also have to realize it's not like they were hunting, the men were going out to hunt and the women walikuwa wanakaa sijui kwa nyumba. It was the old age. Hakuna kukaa kwa nyumba. It was survival for the fittest. If you're able, I'm thinking if I were to be put back in those age, nothing can survive because like I'm not equipped to like. But like it's like because I'm born right now. Kitamba, it used to be survival for the fittest, which also would include the women. You know, you need to be.
My mic cut off, you guys. No. Kumbe nilibaki yap na kumbe mic imeisha moto. Anyway, I was saying that I get the psychology part of it. I get why some of us, because obviously not all of us, some of us tend to gravitate towards the caliber of women tumekuwa tukiongelea. I also believe in nuance. I know there's colorism and najua kuna wengine like I'm going to get like psychological. I'm not a psychology student, but I like to understand. I like to think otherwise. Anyway, so I get that ancestors I get that we needed to be coupled up with the fittest. Of course, you needed to be with somebody who was healthy, somebody who could, run in case like a saber-toothed lion imekuwa attack, with what I was saying with the predators and animals. You needed to have somebody who was, as you see uta like. We're talking predators, we're talking wild animals, we're talking kukimbia. So you needed, both of you needed to like be a certain a certain physique, which is what I feel as men tunasahau. Ama DNA yetu inakata kutukumbusha that bit, that I think ina stem from there. They need to be coupled up with somebody healthy, somebody mwenye anakaa hivyo, is through a DNA. But at the same time, nuance, you guys, nuance. Like, okay, sawa, tall, dark, and handsome. Do you know, nani wako na obsession ya the hiyo, actually, jusio sisi. I do not believe our ancestors ever had colorism or, I don't know, shenzi kama hiyo. Hiyo te ime-originate kwa wale wazungu. That's where it all started. And literally, Nita, I don't know, like, I don't know if we can do like a separate video, but 1700s. The reason why tall, dark, and handsome is a thing was because white people then, they were like the German whites, Greek white, and Mediterranean white. Mediterranean whites, they were the darkest of white people, who are basically the Italians. Yeah, I don't know who else, but like what do in the Mediterranean, people with olive skin. They're white people, but they're like dark skinned white people. Like literally, the obsession to be pure, the obsession to be holier than thou. It's in white people. Who always wants to be the whitest of them all? Who always wants to be, I don't know, the fairest of them all? Like, it doesn't really matter. I'm an African girl. I'm an African woman, and I believe if nobody meet anybody when you like nini imemo affect maybe let's say maybe in my family hatujalelewa in a way about colorism. Honestly, I don't generally feel kama nimewai, because I don't have that insecurity, and I do not feel like I was ever fed anything like that. I grew up my mom calling me Mrembo is beautiful. Like, I grew up being called like that. So a lot of insecurities I do not have. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, by the way. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you so much if you stay this far. And see you on the next one.